Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing the Poro King and we'll be playing out the new campaign that they released. At the moment I don't even remember what it's called, but it's supposed to be significantly different from previous campaigns in the sense that you are drafting your deck from scratch. So at the start I'll only have my champion, but here I'll get support champion bucket. Severe is probably the best out of all of these options. Let's reroll once. Poppy is a little bit more synergistic with our game plan involving small units and board wide buffs. So let's take her. Let's take a power. Fast deal so we don't run out of value. And first draft. You can select a card, add 2 copies to your deck, drafting 1 out of 8. See, here's the thing. Normally the Poro King would have a lot of Poros in his deck. We currently don't have a lot of Poros in the deck. I see. So we're drafting multiple cards on this first encounter. Well, in that case, let's draft the Poro Herder as well. It's synergistic. I guess we're doing Yordle Ranger because it's not too bad in terms of board presence because it has Norris Portal. Stress defense is a decent combat trick. I'll reroll once. Bundle stones, I suppose, the combat trick. Now I can either pick the Poro Sled, which is the good card, or the Aurora Borealis. I need the good card. I can't afford to just be silly with my card choices, especially if I don't know how hard this is actually going to be. And our last draft, I'm going to reroll. If I could get some Poros, that would be fine, but I don't get Poros. I suppose I'm taking Yordle Captain then. Our deck isn't exactly a nice and smooth curve, but at the very least most of the cards have an item on them. Wait, an encounter right after an encounter? Is that how it's supposed to go here? We'll see. How hard can it possibly be? I mean, it's a 2.5 star adventure. I didn't really want to bring a higher level champion because I felt like it might be too easy. So I just went ahead and brought the Poro King, which is level 3 or level 7, I believe. Sure, I'll play the Rodel Squire in order to trade it in with the Religion Rearguard. Yep. And now I can go for a Tiny Spear. Mighty Poro. The opponent's not playing anything. Okay, interesting. I might be able to win this game relatively quickly.
Nothing can stop me.
Wait. When any player plays a unit with 5+ power, granted it can't block, it starts a free attack. I thought that only happened for me. I wasn't aware of that. Well, now I know. Let's try to develop some units.
Well, ain't that
this will strike the weakest enemy. So it's going to strike there, no matter what. Unless I go for a Poro cannon. In which case it will strike the daring Poro. Let's go for the Poro sled. Get 2 attacks in. In this, considering the power that we have, then or that's a staple for this adventure, then Poro sled having the quick strike blade basically means nothing, because it would already start a free attack anyway. Oh well, it's still a good. It was still the best choice out of all of them. All these are crap. I guess we're taking the stone stackers because it's cheap enough. Slot bot, spells chest, shop. Let's go for a shop. We have a lot of money saved up. We might be able to purchase some Poros to complement our deck. So we can actually level up the Poro King and not just have it be a understated 5-drop. This is kind of annoying. The opponent can steal our mana.
We're taking it back.
Which is not fun. Here, let's go Yordle Smith. And I suppose I'll go for the Yordle Squire.
New move? You're doing lessons in my first 30.
Not a chance.
I'll gladly trade it in like so. I lose a little bit in terms of tempo, but I have card advantage.
Any man into a monster.
Sure, I'll drop on the Yordle Captain. Next turn I can go for a couple of small units to get buffed up by the Yordle Captain. I'm taking a lot of damage, but in theory it should be fine. Mostly because I can gain the health back. Let's attack. So just so I can proc the plunder effect and give the plunder Poro 2 keywords.
Just do your best, okay?
Now that my units have 4 different keywords, I'll start getting board white buffs, which I desperately need, especially if I intend to deal with the opponent's constant attacking. Yeah, sure, I'll play the Poro sled. Go for an attack with a significant amount of my units. It's one way to deal with the opponent's board.
Take everything.
And the opponents run out of cards. So next turn I can just close out the game probably. Yeah, I have more than enough damage to deal with the opponent's Nexus. So far so good, I'd say. We took 10 damage there, but we should have enough encounters to the point where we restore our health before we get to the mid boss. Picking up the Nimble Poro, obviously. Flexible game plan is not really a necessity. We already have a bunch of card draw, so let's roll once. Follow the wind. I suppose I can't really use more rerolls, so I'll take what I can get. It's going to make our attacking turns better, but that's about it. That's unlucky. Sure, I'll go for an attack right away, just to proc the Plunder Poro. I can actually drop down the Nimble Poro alongside him, and now we start getting board-wide buffs right away. There's no way that's bad. He's going for a Sandstone Charger. I'm actually going to go for the Poro Herder this turn. Mostly because I want to jump block into that. And of course the opponent gets overwhelmed, so he ends up dealing enough damage to mitigate the amount of health I just got off of the Poro Herder. Another Poro with Crystal Carrier. I'm actually going to play the Poppy. Try to work on leveling her up. I do have one stunned unit, or the opponent does have one stunned unit.
Look, I've made a breakthrough.
If I attack with Poppy, she's going to go up to 5, which is not enough. Actually, no, it is enough because I can pull it with the Nimble Poro. So that's 1 out of 5. Or 1 out of 3. If only we could attack with Poppy a couple more times before the game was over to level her up, but it won't happen. Actually it will, because of the Yordle Ranger we actually got the scout attack off, which means we rally. That's fun. We actually got to close out the game 1 turn sooner because of that. I forgot that's how it worked.
You'll get me next time.
Now it's our second to last encounter. Ooh, Wraith of Echoes is fun. I'm going to pick it up. I don't even care if it's bad. It's our it's actually our last encounter before we have to deal with Akshan. Let's pick up the power. And bursting backpack could be fun, but I'm not going to pick it up. We can't exactly afford it. And as far as card cutting goes, I'm definitely going to cut the Stone Stackers because it's the only card in the deck that doesn't have synergy with the other ones. Let's toss all these back. I need some early game because the opponent's going to play Akshan right away. Actually, no, he won't. Akshan is 3 for him.
Go get the shiny Dabu. Got this from a side quest.
Can't block any of the attackers. Let's go Mighty Poro, sure.
Good people don't look the other way.
Right, the free attack from the opponent.
Party member down.
This is three different keywords. Unfortunately, it's not enough to go for a board wide buff. Actually, it is, because I get one keyword
These little
out of
scamps
the
will burn you to the bone.
dead
I
unit.
prefer my flesh unburnt. Please and thank you.
Now the problem is the opponent's growing its Akshan and the treasure seeker, I suppose, up to be very large.
It's a trap.
I'm going to have to find a way to deal with Akshan somehow. Let's hope that I can do it with the nimble Poro. Sure, let's drop down the Wraith of Echoes. I could go either Poppy or Wraith of Echoes. I suppose Wraith of Echoes might be better. And let's hope that the Akshan... Actually, no, I can't kill Akshan because I don't have enough mana. Well, I'll just attack like so then. Deal 16 to the opponent's Nexus. Next turn I'll go for a
Cool eye patch.
You like it? I mean, shut up and
Yordle Ranger.
You cannot run from absolution.
Action levels up, but it's fine. It's only a 14-6.
Is now ours.
I can jump block it with this thing. Just like so. The Warlord's Sword is a problem though. Since when did the Sandstone Charger get enough attack to kill the Wraith of Echoes? I'm pretty sure the Wraith of Echoes had 7 health. Ah, whatever.
Ready, scout?
Let's go for the free attack. The opponent's unit can't block. But it can strike my units. Quite unfortunately. But I might be able to go for a
like water.
kill this turn. Let's see if he blocks this free attack. He doesn't. The opponent just decided he wanted to perish, I guess. Well, turns out that was not as troublesome as I anticipated. We didn't even lose that much health. Play to the random dragon moons on me. Sure, let's do that on Poppy. Poor Poro King is nothing but a passenger in this adventure, I'm pretty sure. All of these are terrible. I guess Vastine Disciple is one unit which has keywords, which is synergistic with our powers. So that makes it marginally better than the other options. And by picking it now, we get to save a reroll for something later on. I should have tossed the Yordle Ranger. My bad.
Where's my axe?
Okay, that's fine. You can jump block it with a Yordle Squire.
Hero.
No. No attacks. Interesting. Well, in that case, let's discard that. Just so I can get... Ooh! Crystal Carrier on the Yordle Square. That's a lot of free mana. Allows me to go for Poppy right here.
I'm a hero. Yeah, where? What are you looking at me for?
Ah, he's stunning Poppy. I'll hold off on the attack. Right, the opponent deals damage to my stunned units. I forgot about that part. That's unfortunate.
You're not a hero, right?
Embarrassing.
Sure, I'll drop on the Wraith of Echoes. Stunning the Wraith of Echoes, it's not going to kill it, right? And I do have a lot of health, so I'm going to just take this attack, play around with my health a bit. Ooh. It's unfortunate that this thing is going to go back to my hand. The extra keyword's nice.
My war host awaits.
Need 4 different keywords. And this is 4 different keywords. It's not pretty, but it's one way to get there. I feel like from this position we can start moving towards victory. Let's trade that in. Let's drop a daring photo, I suppose. The opponent really is just attacking with that. I don't understand why he would be so conservative with his attacks, but let him do whatever he wants. Fortunately, the Wraith of Echoes perished, but in theory it's fine because I can just go for this attack and deal more than enough damage to close out the game. There. We ended up killing the opponent on a single turn, and we even managed to go back to full health. How close are we to the end? I feel like we'll have one more combat encounter. Sure, Fabled Poro. Select the spell to add to our deck. Poro Nip is nice. And then a rare power, your created cards cost 1 less. We do create a decent amount of cards. But I won't pick up anything else. Champion item chest, healer. Let's go for the healer. We might find... I haven't considered what I would cut, but there is definitely something that's worth cutting in this deck. I just have to think about it for a bit. Let's toss everything. I want some early game units. None of these are early game units, but at the very least we can toss them with Poro Cannon. Let's toss that. Ooh, right, my one cost Poros cost 0 actually.
The wind! The wind howls!
Whatever's on top of my deck is going to be buffed up by quite a bit. That's a very large Poro herder. Let's drop down the Nimble Poro, and that's enough keywords to start buffing up our entire board.
Fluff everywhere.
I'm pretty sure. Lucky. We get to start buffing up our board extremely early. Can go for the Fabled Poro, I can go for something else. Let's actually go for whatever clears our hand out the most. So we'll do this. We'll attack with everything, let the opponent block however he wants. And then we'll summon the Plunder Poro. And we buff up our hand further. Ah, that's scary. Guess we have to trade this in to mitigate the amount of damage I take. But to compensate, I can just do this and potentially close out the game. No, actually. That's a bit unfortunate.
Got this from a side quest.
I'm just doing this to clear a pen space.
It's gotta be way strong.
Didn't realize the opponent was actually going to go for another attack. That was on me. I ended up losing more health than I needed to. Well, we won in the end. That's all that matters. We have Nimble Power with Philosopher's Stone, Legion Deserter, allied buffs everywhere. Let's reroll once. Lonely Poro. That's huge. Definitely could use that. And as far as card cutting goes, I suppose I'll cut the Yordlesmith because it's the only card that doesn't have an item. And the Bundle City Tailstones I haven't really been playing, even though they're flexible. So let's cut it as well.
You want style? You found
The
her.
player's Nexus can't... I didn't even read. I wasn't paying attention. The player's Nexus takes 1 extra damage from all sources, so it's reverse stuff. That's kind of funny. I can actually go for 4 keywords here, and it's going to be good to boot.
Coup de grace in style with our one-of-a-kind
Ouch.
wares.
That hurts. Can you not, opponent? Ring Demolisher. What you want with the enemy Nexus? It's a weight proc plunder, I suppose. Elegant Edge.
This could be okay.
And Samira.
Maybe you'll find a rich patron.
Someone's gotta invest in all this experimental stuff.
Lesson learned.
Go ahead, attack again.
Would a mushroom help?
Next turn I'm going to have even larger Poros. This one in specific is going to be able to trade favorably into Samira. Ooh, and we have one with life steal, so we're even safe in terms of health total.
Adventure time.
So let's do this. Let's... sure, I can actually just do this in order to make it so the opponent loses out on board presence
Time for my arena debut.
and ends up
Getting you dressed for the occasion.
with only a unit that can block. Ouch.
Doesn't talk much. Doesn't need to.
Brazen Buccaneer. Sure, I'll block there. Anything else you want to do, opponent?
Neat and quiet. My mama would love you.
My units are growing larger and larger, opponent. So... you better be careful. And my puppy is actually getting closer and closer to leveling up. What? I didn't even realize I would have enough damage to
On to the next one.
destroy the enemy Nexus. That was a miscalculation. Well, still on one out in the end. I wonder what the rewards will be. I have completely forgotten what I was actually fighting for. Ah, 15 action fragments. Well, with another run, I'll be able to unlock Akshan. That's going to be fun. But that will have to wait for another time. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.